It's that time again when the moon and stars and the Christmas trees are your neighbor's Christmas. Tune in and listen to us talk about many things, including where does the Christmas tree? Welcome home. Well, it was something.
I like that one that time.
Yeah, that was sweet. I think we're getting better at those little jangles. How's it going? Good.
Jingle
Yeah.
jangle.
We're in the season. If you could tell, if you guys
we're-
could tell what season we're in, comment down below. It's a wild guess. Wild guess is only.
What does it mean to you this holiday?
It's funny because someone sent me something a long time ago saying that Christmas was canceled, and that really broke my heart. I'm not gonna name any names, but I was like, man, what?
It might just cost more.
It says they cancel.
I don't think it's canceled.
I don't think, yeah. I mean, I don't know if you could just take a day off the calendar, I think you could do that.
We didn't get the COVID we were promised, and we didn't, when Christmas wasn't canceled. Guess we're all still alive. So, I don't know. I don't know who's winning.
I think it's because of this whole Jewish and Palestinian thing. Yeah, so there's a war going on right now, Gaza. So a lot of the Palestinians went to Times Square and they tried to cancel the Christmas lighting thing to bring awareness.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
But a lot of people were like making it out as like, oh, they want to like stop, this Christian holiday and stuff like that, and they shouldn't be doing that tree things out here.
That's like
Another infatada, and I'm like, oh damn! So that's how they feel over there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow. Well, I mean, it is Christ Mass, so it's in the name.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, it's kind of like the Jewish and Muslims hate Christians.
That's not
funny.
What
I mean, there's like, I think it's hilarious.
Well, when you say that, you're probably speaking to a very small subsect of those respective groups, because by and large, most leaders and figureheads of those groups are peaceful and promote peace.
I like that.
And that's what we are promoting on this day.
Yeah.
But there is extreme versions of different thoughts. And but I mean, I'm just saying we're saying Christmas. We're all I like to say Xmas or Happy Yuletide. Those are some things I like to say to avoid saying Christmas.
Why do you want to avoid it?
Yeah, I like to call it Christmas, and I'm not
say what it is.
I'm not religious at all, or by far.
Exactly.
Like I'm practicing Christian, but I still like to say it.
Of course, yeah. There's no problem in saying that, but
Google says at least 10% of the people in the United States dislike Christmas.
10%.
People can hate Christmas for many reasons, from the stresses as gift shopping and the pressure of love in the festive season.
The pressure of love. The precious love.
I mean, like financially, Christmas always hurts a little bit.
And what's the population of the U.S.? Like 300 and something?
350 million.
So 10%. So 10%. So 10% of that. That's a good chunk.
Oh well, you don't have to like the place.
Happy Yuletide. Where does that come from? Don't you wonder?
Yeah, it's like every time I hear Yule, I'll think of a log.
Yuletide.
Yule log. Because there's put the Yule log.
The celebration around the late December time, early winter is widespread.
Sounds like a cool song.
The Christmas tree has nothing to do with Judaism or Christianity in the beginning, right?
I don't know. There's all these theories where everything like ties into mushrooms and like all this cool shit, but who knows where it really began? I guess you just had to be there. But in the meantime, you got a holiday, like however you celebrate it, hopefully you get to spend it with your family or someone you're close to, That's all you can kind of wish for. Speaking of being close to, I'm close to you guys. I saw at least some of you guys the other night. We got to go see one of Skinny Puppy's last shows.
Yep.
That's how
you would insert some sort of image right there.
No, I'm just gonna have you just pointing there, and then I'm gonna get that one image and splice it and make a whole movie like I did about John.
Do it.
I'm
No,
getting
but it
good
was
at editing stuff now. No, like just edit all these terrible videos of us like doing stuff that we weren't really doing.
I wasn't there. It wasn't me.
It wasn't like that.
I didn't do those things.
My face was nowhere near there.
Wait, that person doesn't even exist. Have you
Me
seen
and
that?
John never had a baby.
Have you ever heard
Never
of
happened.
Have you heard of a website where they're trying to like just AI created people? How
Oh, yeah.
realistic it is.
I know what you're talking about.
Tell us about it.
Well, I mean, there's a site that just like a face every day.
Mhm.
I think it might be called something like that. But that's been around for a while. But and now there are people making money on their own AI generated people.
You know what? I
yeah.
saw
OnlyFans people are starting to like put fake freaking AI people in there.
And I heard of this app too that like will what they'll do for the holidays is they'll write a song for you and you just tell them like 3 things like I want you to write a song about James and David being on my podcast.
Oh, what? So I've done that on the AI app I have.
Yeah, so I think that's what it does because it will make specific songs for you and it's guaranteed you'll like it. Otherwise,
I had to make a song. I forgot what the subject was, but I made it about a specific subject, and I had written in the styles of the Black Keys, and it was fucking sound like a fantastic song. I was just like, oh my god,
so it's trippy. It's like,
very easy to take a song like that and try to use it.
Oh man, that would have been cool to hear.
Oh, well, this was as far as lyrics. As far as the lyrics, it didn't write the music, but I know it can write the music, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, like this one I guess claims it writes the music for you and everything too, and it says with over 100 artists, you probably like kind of like nudge, at least know enough about the genre to like help.
Yeah, well, the more content the artist has out, the better that AI is going to be at recreating it.
Yeah,
because they get all those little nuances throughout everything of like a person's personality.
Wow.
This isn't even me right here. This is AI.
Wow.
So
yeah, and that rooster was not artificially.
That's a space rooster.
It was
that one is too
auditorily inserted into the
Matrix
podcast here.
Yeah, all that computer stuff. Yeah, so like we were going to the show, and I was like, I'm not sure what time we're gonna get there because we really didn't plan it out if we were all gonna meet up right off the bat. We are kind of like planning it like right there on the moment. So I was like, I'm gonna just send John his ticket right now, because he might get there before us, or who knows if we're late or whatever. So we transferred over to him, and he gets it and he accepts it. So it's like, all right, so his ticket's out of our hands now. It's done. And then John's like, hey, does yours have a barcode? Because mine doesn't have a fucking barcode. And we're like, what? We're like, yeah, ours does. Like, shoot, okay, I guess we'll all meet up and then we'll like all figure this out, And then so we meet up and I'm like, okay, what the heck's going on, man? like we're like, it's not pulling up. I'm like, all right, I guess we're gonna have to talk to him, once we get there. And like we're looking at it, and my wife's like looking at it, and she's like, I can't do anything because on my end he already accepted it. So on my end it's like I gave the ticket away already. And John's like, but it says like pending on it, and like so then like we finally get there, and the lady's like, okay, we'll go to the front. They'll print you out another ticket.
Man, my heart felt like to my stomach. Literally, I was like, oh man, this shit's not gonna happen. I was like, dude, I'm gonna either probably have to scalp it from someone here or like shit like that.
But you already paid for it. So I was like,
what was that? The app that you used?
It was Ticketmaster. Yeah,
but
even
Ticketmaster didn't make you go through a third party. It was
just Ticketmaster, and then so we're.
They kept saying Ticketmaster kept saying because we were talking to the robot on the
you can't
app.
call Ticketmaster anymore.
Yeah, so we're like, hey, this is what's happening, and the robot kept going like, hey, just tell the person to resend it again. And we're like, no, she can't resend it again. It says completed, like I took it. And on my side, it just says still transaction, like it was still going. So so it never kind of fully like downloaded, but it thinks it downloaded, which is so messed up. Because you imagine if I was like, I didn't know, like Vinny, and stuff like that. I was like, oh yeah, let me just pay for that. And dude, that would have been fucked up.
Well,
because
check this out. Without interrupting too much about it, but when I went to that Wolfmother concert, so I bought the tickets, and they were like fucking like $80 or something like that each, and I bought a couple of tickets, and then the day of, like, I looked through the app and I didn't see the actual ticket stub. I saw the receipt but not the ticket, and I was trying to download it and it wasn't downloading, and I just couldn't get it, and then I called the company. It was a third party that was like through StubHub, and they couldn't fucking fix anything. And then they're like, well, we're going to go ahead and refund you, and then you could go ahead and order again online. But they couldn't rebook, or they tried to send me a link to rebook, and then it wouldn't let me rebook in their system. So they said, we'll refund you and then put it on back on. I go, well, there's I had the money, but I just was like pushing the buttons a little bit. But I go, well, if you refunded me, am I getting that back right now so I can pay with that money to get these tickets? And then she's like, well, it could take 5 to 7 business days. Then that's a standard answer that you have to give towards refunds.
Yeah.
And I know it, but I'm like, okay. And I was like, all right, fine. And she's like, oh, are you sure? She was very apologetic and sad about it. And I was like, no, it's fine. But, I was still kind of pissed. Went back online, and I just went directly through the website of the venue themselves, bought the tickets through there, and I got them for half the price that I was paying through fucking StubHub.
Oh, nice. I bought a Kings ticket, and I had my whole family there, like all the boys. It was the first game and everything. And the same thing happened. I go there, and I was like, I forgot what thing. It was like event seats or something like that. I forgot what the seat the company was. But I go there, I'm like, hey, like, they got tickets. Like, oh yeah, these ones aren't working. And then the guy's like, well, like, so then I call the company, like, no, it should be there, and blah blah blah, like everything's there. And I'm like, and yeah, for some reason the tickets weren't there. So we fucking sitting there. We missed it like almost like the first quarter. I'm like, dude, this fucking sucks. And then I'm embarrassed. I got my whole family there, and then finally, finally, like, the security comes up. He's like, hey, man, you've been here for a little bit. I talked to my manager. Dude. I mean, it looks like you're telling the truth, man. It looks like the thing's just not working. He got some seats for you. I'm like, really? I'm like, okay, cool, man. Thanks, dude. And then our seats were like the next section up too, or closer. So we got good seats, and it was like fucking pretty cool because like walked in right in the fight, and it was just like it was,
cool.
Kings won. It was like it was a preseason game too. That's probably why they let me in also. But
yeah,
but still, it was cool, and we just got closer seats, and yeah, I got to see a good game.
Do you think that might work like as a trick if you wrote out like
every game
a fake email with like some fake confirmation numbers for some tickets, but not actual.
So come on, let me into
this is all they gave me. This is all they gave me.
But the weird part,
I got 2 kids. Like, what the hell are you doing?
It worked.
No, but so that happened. So then we had to go to the window, and it's like John's like, "Oh, look, this is what's happening." We're showing the guy our phone, and he's like,
And it's crazy because he did it so quickly. He did it so fast. Like
it was
when
like,
he actually is like, "Oh, okay," in like 2 seconds. Let me give me your phone number. Oh, there's a text. All right, cool.
Yeah,
right, but we were there trying to like convince the guy.
Let me do this, and he almost said no. And then John's like, look, this is that. I go, look, we have we have it that we purchased the tickets here, and we have it here. The serial numbers are here. And then I was like, through my head, I'm like, just give us the fucking tickets already. We're adults, dude. like we paid for this already. Like, we're not.
Yeah, because we were both showing the phone, and it's like and the thing's like, look at the transaction. Here's the receipt.
And then he's like, no, okay, I'll send it to you. And he sent us like the actual ticket that was his. So it's like,
but it's funny now.
You had our name, you had everything.
It's funny now that they say do not screenshot the tickets. So now that doesn't even work, because back in the day it's like, oh, either print your ticket. I always just like screenshot it, right?
Well, what that app does, it's like those barcodes. So if you open up there and you try and scan it at the door, it's a different barcode than what you snap.
Yeah, it just doesn't work.
So it's not that the codes, because it is reading the code, but it's saying this code's pretty much expired. Like, this is an old code. Like, somebody took a screenshot.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Because that way, it's like before I used to just have, that's how I would save my ticket. Like I wouldn't even go through the app. I would just go through my like favorites on my pictures.
Yeah.
And it's like, boom, here it is.
No, I would do this same exact shit. And then I'd even try and like resize it to where it's like perfect size to put it right
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Now it's like, no, you go through the Ticketmaster app or nothing, you know?
Yeah.
But as you've seen some of the clips, so like, yeah, it was a pretty cool show. He like had this alien head on the whole time.
Yeah, it looked pretty badass.
Yeah, it's kind of like fun because
on the point, right on current events, right? With all
yeah, there was a bunch of cool like shadow screen, cool stuff. Like I was gonna say, it reminded me of like the stuff I wanted to do with like Eldritch Peculiar. We were like
it was theatrical.
Yeah, theatrical, artsy, kind of with the music involved. Like Ogre's like really good with that, you know. And so like he had that whole thing, but he wore that fucking thing the whole time, that mask. And at one point, like I guess
the encore he didn't.
I know.
Yeah.
But like
he did like 2 encores.
Yeah, I saw the first one and then I left after that because I had to be at work. I'm an old man now. But yeah, he had that, and then
well, that's funny because he was like, there was 3 guys out there that had issues with their tickets. And I wanted to personally thank them.
Not so hard to get in here, now you're leaving.
Why are you leaving so soon?
It's so hard to get in. Now
3 people. 3 people.
But and all the merchandise is pretty cool. I wanted to like buy more stuff and
yeah.
But the mask looked like it was like half because you could still see his like mouth move and stuff like that, right? So it kind of went like, but it was so nicely shaped, like it kind of looked like it was part of it.
Good.
Yeah.
And then it kind of then aired out in the back, like it had like some type of like release so it could like come off, because he had to have two different alien masks, because the first one that lit up like in the front, and then the second one without a brain.
Yeah.
Well, so what was it arousing?
It was very erotic.
Oh, I loved it. It was almost like watching like a play. Like
it wasn't erotic. It could. I mean, it was more. I would say,
hold on, I'll tell you off the chat. Okay.
I'm trying to give you the right words, but erotic wouldn't be the right word. It could be. But it could be. It was intriguing. That would be closer to
what is it when they say pornographic?
But it would be pornographic or sexual, or even
not sexual, but it's
I wouldn't even say sensual. I would say it was more intriguing. It was
captivating,
engaging. It was dark.
Yeah.
It was dark. It was I would say violent.
Yeah, there's a whole baby thing. There's a whole like baby thing where like he took like the DNA from the alien and put it into the baby, and then made an alien baby and just like kind of killed it for no reason.
Yeah.
And then,
he got the power from the baby. Like it was a girl baby. So
he got the power.
Is that how you interpreted what we witnessed?
Is that what happened, John?
Well, yeah, because he was like they had a moment where they were just transferring the lights between each other. Right?
It was fluid.
So either they were connecting or they were like either trying to feed from each other. You know what I mean?
The whole time, he was just mutating more and more.
Some transfer of. But I took it that the kind of spirit that haunted him, right? That was his tormentor.
Yeah, the weird demon.
Yeah, like the weird what is that, like
what it wanted to take his energy.
He was like, I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about. Buffalo head,
and put it into his experiment, which is the child.
Yeah, because let's just say there was the 2 scientists walking around inspecting like the alien that just showed up, right?
Right.
So they were taking notes here and there, but the bull guy was more like something that just kept like, was it like, is it that represents like
like
if a man?
How are you doing this during the show? This is in between when they're playing, or like
the whole time.
Mid song, there's
it's
this
like if you're watching a theater.
But like with anybody saying anything, or they're just acting it out.
It's acting it out while the drummer is putting on the performance of his life. He looks exhausted.
So 7 keys going crazy.
He doesn't look exhausted by the end, but he probably feels exhausted because he has this huge kit and he's like,
he's singing the whole time while the guy's like going around him, stabbing him with shit, and then like he's doing his ogre hand stuff where he's acting all weird, and then he's just doing all like I saw it as him being transformed into something else and into something else and something else. Like he just kept getting more and more things like.
It seemed like they were transforming. They weren't killing him.
And that, no, like I figured like, let's shoot him up with this and take this from him. And now he's this monster, and now he's this monster, and now we have what like building him into something to take from him. Put all the right ingredients so you can take get the finished thing out of it.
Alice Cooper,
but then he had the shadow screen, and then he had, like in the beginning, it was just like, and he's behind it, and he's singing and like doing all this weird like shadow puppet stuff. He does like of course like the Gaza stuff. He does like the Jewish star, and then he does like a slice.
I think you're glitching a little bit, Vinny.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What's that? What's that style of art that's in that?
Shadow
I don't know. It's like it's shadow art, where they have screens like this, but a shadow kind of a character. Okay, I wonder what that's called.
See, because I took it as like that's the alien living through like the ages. Because if you like in the beginning, he had a hood on. He was covering himself, right? No one wanted to see it was an alien underneath the cloak thing, right? So he was hiding, and then eventually little time passed on, because he was showing like different times, and then suddenly with the gun, and then the thing, then it was praising some other thing, right? It started praising like that head,
like
right?
Christianity.
You're right. Yeah, I forgot about that. You're right.
Yeah, so it's like Christmas. A whole thing. It's like
Christmas.
And in the end, the alien like gets like dissected.
So maybe there was some sort of ideal or what they thought was this is what we want to achieve, like a moon child kind of thing. We want to create. You got
moon child.
No, the moon child.
I don't know. It was a show either way. Yeah, I guess. Well, I mean, like.
He's like, I don't talk about that part. Pass.
Well, besides the clips here, I mean, it's the last show, so I mean, that's why we're talking, just telling, pretty much giving giving all.
Yeah. But how many bands have actually said this is their last tour?
Yeah, one.
Fine. I remember working in a music store, and I looked at a DVD. I think it was like Phil Collins. He was like, finally, the first farewell tour. Always do this. Yeah.
Quitting again
for their comeback 10 years later. They said they would never do it again, but here we got them.
Turns out 50 isn't old.
It's a moneymaker to do that. To say,
you get bored too. Like it's fun when you're on stage, man. Like it's a blast, and then you miss it, and I could see as a big band, you're like, fuck, man, like you're on top of the world at one point, and then like now I want to.
When you say big band, you mean like Benny Goodman and
Miller,
right?
Yeah, but like to see that, and then all of a sudden your music becomes re-popular again, and kids are listening to it again.
Well, like with the Danzig, with the Misfits, remember for the longest time he was just like, I'm not playing with them. I'm just.
And he's like, I'm gonna do my 50s. I'm gonna do my 50s music.
And I get it, but then like obviously it got very, very popular, and then they announced that tour. I seen them on that tour, so it was awesome. But it's just funny because you didn't think that was gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm glad they all kind of agreed.
Yeah,
but the biggest one is like Justin Timberlake when he's like, you know what, I'm done with NSYNC.
Oh
and
yeah,
then what? NSYNC is back.
Bigger than you.
Yeah,
above you.
Or like Beyonce. Like I think that there's always that one that just kind of pops out, right? And their shit becomes real big, and then they come, okay, let's go back to the other thing,
But Justin Timberlake was bred to be a star. Like he like was doing that stuff.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
he was groomed.
Well, Frank Sinatra was in Tommy Dorsey's group, right? And then it became Frank Sinatra. And then just Frank Sinatra. He left Tommy Dorsey's group.
Or there's Elf.
Or like, what was it? Like David Bowie with that band Tin Man?
Wow.
Or Tinfoil?
Yeah.
Right? That's not David Bowie. That's Tinfoil.
That's
or Tin Man.
And his friends he decided to write a song, an album with.
But it's not David Bowie. You're like,
for sure. That's true. Yeah,
Wow.
writers. There's a lot of writers for songs that don't get a chance to be the performers. And David Bowie used a lot of writers. He didn't write a lot of his own material, or as much of his own material as at least some people may want to believe.
Well, I mean, I think
he was
all I got to do as an artist is
collaborator. Is what he was.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what I say as an artist. Like, I just have to get a couple good, like, these are my 2 original art pieces right here, which was Space Odyssey, and then you have these two great albums, and then from there you can coast off of a couple things.
There's a bunch of great albums.
Well, I know. I'm saying as an artist in general that you do that, and then you can be like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna get the song. John Mayer wrote this song. He doesn't want it. I'm gonna take it. It sounds good in this genre. So
you have the Berlin years, right, with Robert Fripp and Brian Eno.
Well, that's another thing too. Is as your band evolves, like your style kind of evolves too. Like, and that's what's kind of cool with like is the changing of instruments.
As Nile Rodgers and Stevie Ray Vaughan, a very young Stevie Ray Vaughan playing that solo in Let's Dance. That's Stevie.
Well, you can go like the Yardbirds if you want to go like that. Like
Stevie Ray Vaughan thought he was going to go on tour with David Bowie that year. But David Bowie says, no, I just wanted to have him play on the record, and that's it.
He goes, maybe next year, kid.
Sayonara.
He's wearing Komodo.
Right.
He just walked into the water and disappeared. It was weird.
Just
like he didn't get up. Like he waited till the lights went out and snuck out. All I saw his wet footprints when the lights came on.
Dance the blues.
Oh my god!
It's Christmas time. You know what my favorite Christmas jingle is?
This is
Silver Bells. I think I like that one.
Silver Bells.
Right?
I'm a Nat King Cole guy.
What's your favorite Christmas song?
Oh, there you go.
I named mine.
Mine was Nat King Cole.
Are you talking classic Christmas songs or just any Christmas songs? Because I'm thinking any Christmas songs.
Anyone at all. Go for it.
Vinny?
But just sang it. Father Christmas.
Oh, okay.
The Kinks.
Yeah, I like the Kinks. They just make me happy.
That's a good one. How about you, Dave?
Chestnut roasting.
They put me in a better mood.
I was thinking of so the Kinks one's up there with the ones like I love hearing that as a Christmas song. But then there's also that other one. I think it's just called Christmas, but it's in Goodfellas. You remember when they're when he brings home the Christmas tree and it says Christmas.
Yeah, I don't think I know that song
that well.
Yeah,
that always reminds me of because I think that song's in Gremlins also. I'm not sure, but I remember Gremlins also when I hear that song for some reason. I don't know.
Oh, Gremlins.
Yeah, it is a Christmas movie. Just be look for either old Goodfellas soundtrack or just type in old 50s.
Oh yeah, so yeah, it's Darlene Love.
Darlene. Oh yeah, Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh no! All of a sudden, Darlene Love. Oh, why did you say so?
Christmas and a beating light. That's Phil Spector.
That sounds like what.
That's a great one. I like Darlene Love. She's got a couple really good hits. They're all Phil Spector. This is just right there in that sweet spot.
Yeah.
That's probably as much as we could play for licensing purposes.
Yeah, I just put it on just for a second.
Phil Spector estate's still trying to recover from. We'll leave that one alone.
But who sang that one? I didn't even.
Darlene Love.
Darlene Love. Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
What's your Christmas wish?
Christmas wish. Yeah, do you wish for things on Christmas?
Well, I think that's like a monkey paw, you know. Like you make that wish, it'll be doomed. You'll be doomed. It'll come to you in the wrong way. You'll be like, no, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant.
Like the one that really takes the cake.
Yeah, I didn't want to live.
That's your favorite part right there.
George Michael estate is definitely going to come directly at this podcast if we air that for too long.
Yeah, he's like, I want my cut.
No, he's like, I just want you.
Or that one, that one with the lights.
That's why we don't have the 4 screens up, because then you can just take your pick.
Soon though, soon we'll get there.
Soon we'll get. It's been like a button. All you gotta do is push right there. It says 4 screen.
Oh, that would be awesome.
That one.
Wow. You know, there was a topic I remember we were talking about earlier. It was using, was it 23andMe? Those kind of companies. Have any of you guys used that?
Yeah, I want to do that.
Yeah, that's how I do that. My brother found my grandma that way. My dad's real mom. That's how we got in contact with her, because I guess he found someone that was related to my grandma, and then went down the line, and that's how we got in contact with her.
Wow, that is an incredible story.
That's cool.
But it's kind of trippy though, because it's like
the good
like because they got your DNA, and like they could find a lot of shit out with your DNA. I mean, they could potentially like frame you if they wanted to,
or they can make a weapon.
Yeah, find out like what's bad for maybe a certain type of humans. Maybe certain people have different antibodies that other people don't. It's like, what are they doing with all the information?
Real quick. I got a question. Now this might sound real ignorant, and I apologize, but
you know where you were going with this.
23andMe, you take a shit in a box, right? When you send it.
That's the first time I've heard that. Is that
wrong?
No, I never heard
that. You stick your head up a bull's ass, see if it steaks good, but I'd rather take.
We're probably gonna have to bring in your cousin, man. Like, we're gonna have to interview him for that 23andMe type thing. We should do a 23andMe type interview.
Is that how you're doing your COVID test?
James would send his pieces of stool with the thing attached to it. He's like, that's how you test it, right? That's
a different test. Okay, so how do you get the? Because that's not how you get DNA, right?
It's just COVID with the date on it. That's it.
You get DNA from anything: saliva, blood. Blood, obviously.
And poop.
Poop. I'm sure you could get some of that out of it. It's probably not as fun.
Well, when you had COVID and if you farted, COVID was coming out.
But that's not how you get 23andMe, though, right? You don't do that.
No, you don't. You don't catch 23andMe.
You like swab your mouth.
You shut it in a box. You shut it in a box.
But you don't use. They don't collect the information through that. There's a different.
I think what you do is you swab your cheek. They send you a test. You swab your cheek. You put it in a little canister. You send it back to them, and then they get back to you in how many weeks or whatever. The business is.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I wasn't sure.
So turns out you're half black.
You definitely make sure.
You can say the N-word now. It's like, whoa, I'm part black. I can say anything now.
Oh man. Well,
But would you rather have that one or the one that traces like your ancestors? Because there's ancestry.com.
So some of them do it combined. Like where you can.
Like both? Wow.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. But I think the one where they trace your ancestry might actually cost more. Because it's actually.
I would want to do that one.
There's like research behind it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then there's like adoption stuff that you have to deal with too. Like
they like send you a baby in the mail. That's how they're getting all the.
No, well, certain records are sealed for a certain amount of time.
Here, like we found out.
Wow. So I don't know. It seems convenient to send your DNA into the big lab, and then in the big lab, they'll just be able to tell you all this information. But the scary idea there is that what happens to that information afterwards?
Yeah, and it's funny because they don't throw it away.
No,
they're like, okay,
they log everything. Like I've worked at so many tech companies that do everything. No smart company ever deletes something out of pure privacy.
I heard they can't delete.
Yeah, it just doesn't happen. They'll archive it somewhere until it's a tasteful time to use it or desperate measures. But yeah,
or the company gets hacked.
But that can decide whether like they're gonna like keep you alive or not. Like, well, no, this person has a history of like, we'll just say like I want to say alcoholism, so let's not give him a liver. It's like, but he hasn't drank in fucking 10 years. And it's like, yeah, but still, this guy should get the liver instead, you know. And this is
Yeah,
just
there's amazing information from we can gain from
or
all.
well, it looks like he's gonna get cancer in a couple of years, so it's like, should we waste? Should we save him or not? You know, it's like
it's worth just weighing it all out, right? What it all means. But I mean, that's kind of what I think the premise really was. I know this is going to stir the hornet's nest, but the premise of our mRNA technology was that they would be able to, in a way, just kind of scan in various DNA sequences and information that they're learning from any scientists around the world. They can kind of use this structure, the mRNA, and then they can just duplicate whatever just say it in.
That they put the code, like the sequence of whatever virus is out there. They just type it in the thing and then shoot out the vaccine with the mRNA type thing. But that's the thing, where there's the good of it, there's also like the really bad of it, right? Because it hasn't been tested. It's been around, you know what I mean? But here we go. Let's give it out to the public. We know what it does. But
we'll just say this, like with that data, okay, we have it, and then we have things like AI where like they said like invent different poisons, and I think it invented like 50,000 different poisons that would kill humans. Like, so say if somehow that the machine got to all that data, and it's like,
that's the scary part.
That's like, fast forward 25 years when it's that like possible,
even going back with the COVID swab, right? They got the first people that got it were like shoving that sucker way to get in that membrane type thing.
Tons of shit.
And they were sending it into the labs, and the labs kept that information too, right? So then it's found out that China got a hold of it, got of all
that's the thing is,
of DNAs of people. It's like now it's like, hey, we got a good chunk of the population, and we.
How many people got a shot by a stranger in a parking lot? Like straight out, like
just drive through.
Get a shot from a fucking stranger in a fucking parking lot. Just somebody in a lab coat that was like, probably some fucking. Because I remember I had to get like swabbed for jobs and shit. So I'm like, okay, I had to get this. I had to turn it in, and I had to wait in a big ass line. And then I finally get there. I'm thinking it's gonna be professional. I'm like, this looks like fucking an 18-year-old kid is volunteer, dude. I'm older than this person, and they're like, oh yeah, just put it in your nose. I'm like, what the heck's going on?
He's like, hey, mister, don't move, okay? Hey, mister. Just
swab it in your bag, put it in there, and then put it in the thing right there. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, fuck, just like, all right.
I was like, for me, it's always been like,
whoa, that's a crazy commercial. That's very festive. The holiday season. But as you were saying, I'm being quiet because I don't want to show that. See?
That's where it's going, dude.
Christmas, dude. Skynet.
That's where we're going right here.
Yep, exactly.
Okay. We're connecting in.
Cybernetic organism.
I'm a cybernetic organism. This, part one really was taking risks. Everything after that, James Cameron, just was smooth sailing.
Yeah, because even the budget of it, like,
right.
Even like getting that what is it, the T-3000, the liquid guy.
It's a real film, Jack.
That's part two.
Yeah,
but I thought we were talking about part two, the production.
That was part one. No, part one.
No, we're talking about part one because there's a whole thing where it's
early career. They ran out of budget, right, Vince?
Yeah. They didn't have permits, and they had to like sneak around permits, and then
the cigarette thing.
Yeah. They use cigarette smoke for the alien but for the Terminator when he gets crushed. So they had to do all these like little things, these homemade tricks that really like gave the film that feel,
Right.
And plus the story is great. It's
it was wrong.
Fucking Terminator, dude, it's awesome. And then they knocked out of the park with part two, or just.
But then he had.
That's what I was saying. Part two, you like once they got a big hit, the money came in. And then the production was like way better. I'd like part two too, man.
I love it, dude.
He had already done 2 movies since then.
And then great.
So it was big.
Like True Lies was in there too, right?
True Lies. I think it was later, but I think he did. Yeah. He did Aliens.
Like 92 or something.
Right? Part 2. That was a good one. And then he did The Abyss.
I started going into Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Then he did T2. So by then it was like James Cameron. What? This guy's huge.
Yeah, he got that action.
T2, that was I don't know if I want to say it was the height, but it's
Yeah.
No,
that's where he he started to be on a different.
Yeah, as far as me, like
as a young boy, I loved it.
You were noticing. David was noticing. He was drawing.
Don't they say like or when you do think about it, like the whole AI and everything, that's where Terminator kind of melds into the Matrix, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Sure.
and weren't both of those movies sued by somebody who like wrote that original story? It was like a lady.
Oh yeah.
That's
but aren't they like piggybacking the Bible though? Isn't it like
there's certain parts of it like I know in the Matrix where it references things in it, but I just
Nebuchadnezzar, and then
I don't think it's like
resurrected.
I don't think they exactly took the Bible and just went from it. I kind of feel like they may have started making the movie and then just started relating some references to it and just tied it into it. But I don't think it was done off of it, personally.
Well, speaking of movies, what is your favorite Christmas movie?
I don't know. I was thinking about that too because my boys are like the age where I can start showing them like fun, like scary movies and stuff.
I like Scrooge with Bill Murray.
Yeah, I love Scrooge. Yeah. That was probably like my favorite.
The top one was Carol in general, right? Anything with Scrooge. It's a good story.
Yeah,
Charles Dickens.
I think you're right that they're all pretty good. Like,
yeah,
you can kind of watch.
It's a classic story.
Scrooge McDuck.
That's a book. Charles Dickens.
It's a book. I read it. In a book.
I read it. It's a good read.
Because
it's not too hard. You could do it in a month.
Even the Muppets, the Scrooge one, that's really good. Then you have the Jim Carrey one. The Jim Carrey one. Scrooge one? No, he did like an animated. It was with Jim Carrey. Let me pull it up.
I don't think I know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah.
And then they got the one that's the Mickey Mouse one. That one was really good.
Yeah,
but that's when you got watch.
I like that Jimmy Stewart. It's like It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Classic.
And that's at Bill's house. It's in John's fence.
I was doing coke over there.
And that's where the money went. You saw me.
Do you want me to drive home drunk, or do you want me to stay there where it's safe? So
that is not how it went. There was a lot of snow, but it wasn't. It was more of like.
Then he went all crazy, like it's fucking Christmas, running down the street. You really got to show like from the beginning, huh?
Robert Zemeckis.
A Christmas Carol. From the director of Back to the Future.
Did we remind you?
And Forrest Gump.
Remind you.
And Polar Express.
In case
comes a Christmas movie unlike any other.
Oh wait. Oh yeah.
Jim Carrey is.
Oh yeah, when the Christmas present.
What do you want with me?
Coming this December.
Oh, it's animated?
Yeah. I remember it now. It was like computer animated, and that was strange looking at the time.
Because it was back. It was even the games looked like how the animated like that. I think that's the best type of like human likeness of they could get back in the day.
Oh, have you ever like John Kerry farted?
Oh yeah, there's been a lot of politician farts going on. It's quite fun. I think they're on a text thread and they're messaging each other and they're like, "Hey, let it loose."
You got one. You're good for one.
It's a form of sacrifice. It's a form of sacrifice. It's like, all right, you have to give it up. You're trying to be publicly embarrassed.
When they do it, it's really like some
remember college
code that we didn't realize was being said. Like
33 requires to use shame on TV. Go.
Shame required. You pulled the shame card.
Do you want that, or do you want us to release the tape?
You're allowed one fart.
There's two types of shame, my friend.
And then all of a sudden, the Democrat goes, "Let's not release the Jeffrey Epstein list."
It's important.
It's like, why don't you want to release it? Like,
we're gonna release it.
No. Let's not.
Cue the fart.
Quickly, fire the lasers.
Fucking aliens, right? Aliens.
Release the next Alien Peru tape. Release the next
UFOs in space now. like, ooh.
But what's up with that? Like the moon and mirroring the surface of the earth. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, I was talking to James
What
about
is
that.
The moon is reflecting like certain old maps
Disclaimer.
of like how like the land, and like if it was flat, the moon is reflecting how like the continents, the water. We're basically looking at a mirror.
Disclaimer.
It could be just a way that they were like mapping things out at the time.
You
For
mean
the
like,
most part, it's just a fun conspiracy, I think.
but it's like the reflection from the moon, or like actual craters and stuff on the
No,
moon?
like the light shines on the Earth, making a projection, just like how a camera lens would
Moon in
kinda,
your eye, David.
making a projection onto the moon, which would mirror, say, the continents.
Okay.
And it's only a small circle, about about as much as the moon would be able to shine on there, and then the rest of it is the other continents that supposedly we don't know about. So because they in it, they'll have pictures where they superimpose it onto the moon.
The ice wall, man. And this is
Yeah,
why,
like do that. But I mean, I guess you can make anything fit.
this is why I'm
how you
wearing this
want it.
shirt right now. There's this ice wall, and it's guarded by the Watchmen.
Moon theory.
Game of Thrones, dude.
And you can't pass it
Gang.
because then there's more land.
Gang shit, David. Moon theory.
Moon theory.
I mean, it's fun thoughts,
But it's funny how the moon has all these conspiracies, because like even like now the landing has been put through AI, like the Apollo landing.
Yeah.
And the AI said it's a fake. It's a
that
fake
was from
video.
Russia.
I saw that.
But that's Russian disinformation.
Yeah, and then proves out interesting.
Yeah, I
Interesting.
like.
That's all he has to say about it.
He
Interesting. You go, I knew those fuckers were lying.
he dances delicately on a different level.
Hmm.
But this moon theory.
Americans lying.
Is that a moon in your eye, like a big pizza pie?
Is it made out of cheese?
Is it? Is the moon real?
That's.
Am I real?
I haven't been there yet. Or maybe,
I think we need to.
I'm just not that interested in the moon.
I'm too busy looking down than looking up.
Yeah, I want to see something like crazier from like another planet, like some full-on shit population.
Have you seen that video of the moon? Like somebody zooms into the moon and then they see something like flying, like really tiny.
Yeah,
like of course I've seen it, John.
AI generated CGI.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
It's CGI though, for sure.
It was before. I don't know, man.
Dude, that is so.
You're so quick to say CGI. You don't even know what we're talking about. You're just so quick.
And when you see it online, you're like, "Oh my god!"
How many times have you been right about all these things
happening?
How many times?
Not
how about? Do you believe in weather manipulation, James? Do you believe in?
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Do you believe?
No, here's the thing. Let's just say, like, because of the zoom of the camera, it gets so close. Like it's such a like. That it has to be like, you can't do that with an iPhone, man.
John, I want you to prove to me that Elijah didn't get burned up in a chariot of fire. You can't unprove it. You can't unprove it. You tell me.
Yeah.
I found it in a book. It was written.
Yeah,
it was written
because it was written. It must be true.
There's footage out there of this one thing, which you're not showing it. I'm just saying, I don't think that footage is probably real. There the footage of some UFO stuff that's out there. I'm not denying that, but I'm saying something floating around the moon or whatever like that.
There's lots of different videos.
That sounds like a cool CGI video to me. I mean, yeah, that's probably. It would look really neat. The color contrast of the brightness of the moon with.
It's fucking real, James. Stop all this madness.
Like, have you seen any of the SpaceX flying in the sky? It's mesmerizing. That blue light it leaves.
No, it can't break through. Can't break through the filament. Every time it tries, you can put as many rockets. You put 15 of those damn rockets.
David, have you seen any like debris in the sky from any of these?
I found it.
Some of them blast off in Texas. But I
yeah,
guess it's Houston.
It's
far away.
Yeah, like 4 or 5 hours from me.
But can you see some of it? Because I've seen. I don't know where the SpaceX shoots.
No, I missed it anytime it was, and I don't know if you'd be able to see it from here. I guess you would be.
Okay, let's see it. Here we go. Here we go. Hold on. Here we go. Hold on. Here we go. Here it comes.
It's just a golf ball, dude.
Come on.
That's no moon.
It's right there. You see it? Right there. Right there.
No, that's a cursor. Dude, that's a
With the shadow.
cursor. That's your mouse.
It's going into there. Now
I can't
there's more
see it.
than one video like this too.
Oh,
Look
there
at
it
that.
is.
Look at right
Okay,
there.
yeah. Oh, so it's debris, dude. Those are things crashing into them. Look at it. It's got a crater. It's full of craters.
You think
That's the
it's
reflection.
orbiting.
You know, you could say that, but we do know that things crash into the moon.
There it
and all.
goes. You see
And
that?
we know other
What is that?
places
See,
have.
it's even
Oh,
closer now.
dude,
So the
that
shadow?
You see the shadows from them.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, there's definitely shadows. So they're floating out there,
But,
floating on the top. One,
Lots
two,
of different countries
three.
have satellites out there too, though.
Those are whales.
So who's this image from?
John,
Jeez.
John, you know him personally, right?
No, like
Yeah, let me call him up.
Wait, yeah, what was the name of that video? Can you tell?
no, but I could like. But this wasn't NASA. This wasn't somebody else showing this footage or nothing like that.
No, of course not NASA.
John
NASA's
just
part,
said
part
no,
of the life.
It was a home video. It was uploaded by this guy named Matt.
Yeah, it's CGI.
Matt McCann.
CGI.
I know that guy, dude. He's really good.
3
at
years
CGI.
ago. Let's see what the comments say.
All Matt 3 years ago, we're doing CGIs. I think.
David already knows.
Yeah. If you look up what that guy does and he does CGI, like
It's just that cool to do that, dude. I'm telling you. Yeah. The zoom in was, for one, what kind of technology do you have that can zoom in the moon like that?
That's what I was saying. That's what I'm
I mean,
saying. Like
you have
that.
to have
You
a
can't
badass
do that with an
camera.
You
iPhone.
can have a telescope that's like,
Right.
$10,000 plus.
Well, you know,
And
someone
you
has
can
that.
get some
And you
cool
need
views,
the
but
camera
it
to hook
doesn't
up to it.
zoom
You need
in
the
with
camera to
video.
hook up to that zoom.
Yeah.
Because that's a deep, like it's got to be like a
That focus stays intact
you
while
don't
you're
believe
zooming in at an alarming rate. Come on now. Kinda.
Yeah, that's the only thing. If the zoom, like I'm like, that's the only thing I can't. I'm like, it's got to be something else.
It's got to be.
So I get 1 point there, guys. I'll take 1 point.
No,
And
you don't
I'm
win.
going to
this
share
time.
that point back to you guys too. I want to share it back because I do believe that there is some footage out there that is there's no explanation.
Question.
You know, what would be interesting though if you like one day you fall asleep and you wake up and you're in the moon and you're in this ship and you're like, damn, that's messed up. I got a point for this.
Nobody's gonna believe me. You just
No.
come back. You guys are right. What happened? I don't want to talk about
What
it.
happened?
You guys are right. Okay, I don't want to talk about it.
I know. You know what I saw when I was a kid? That movie Fire in the Sky.
Oh yeah.
That made
Yeah.
Good.
changed. I moved my bed away from the window because I was afraid.
it was a pretty scary movie.
Wow. Yeah.
Like at that time.
You have slime all over.
Yeah, 'cause that was
and the needle in the eye. That was like the most thing. Like girls like, oh
Yeah,
my god,
he's like-
you just gotta watch it coming.
Dude.
Yeah. Imagine that, and especially it's like a bunch of kids watching it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's like now it's like, oh, okay. But yeah, like at that age back then, like it just came out perfectly for like, oh damn, that's fucking
Yeah.
that's he still could feel it. He could feel everything.
DB Sweeney, right? Is that actor?
Oh
Is
yeah.
that the-
Yeah.
And it's funny because he was so hot at that time. He was coming out in a shitload of movies back there.
Yeah. And then he had that show, that's Strange Luck,
T2000.
the Fox one. And I think that's where he kind of went down from there.
Mm. Yeah, that's based off a true story though. Fire in the Sky.
Yeah. There's lots of interviews with him. But I don't remember the guy's name.
I think there's a percentage of alien abduction stories that are just mental instabilities, episodic moments, or unique acute moments of mental trauma and instability where people say they saw aliens. But then there's a percentage where
Maybe mental breakdowns.
and there's a percentage of people that maybe there's just a little too many things happen to them that are hard to say that that's what it was. Like those lights in Brazil and all that stuff. And
Peru, dude. Peru's having a lot of shit. Peru has what are they called, John? The palacajas.
Pelacaras. The face peelers.
Yeah, but I think
you do that down in
the
Beverly
name
Hills,
came
though.
because they found a guy with his face was in a river and his face was gone. But I think like piranhas ate his face, and then the people were like, oh, and that name just kind of caught on, and then like the people were getting attacked by some weird something, whether it's cartels or whatever the hell it is, they're getting attacked by something, because there's victims.
Cartel was like, okay, you're taking my. What do you think they're
Dressed
saying?
up
You're taking my
in-
client.
They dress
Or
up.
did you
Well,
think
they're
that-
showing people on like rocket packs and like weird shit like that too. It's like just weird stuff going on over there.
Yeah, and it's funny because it's like it came out in their local news outlet.
Yeah, it's on the news.
Like a little
daily.
small like report was done on it. Like like basically like if our Channel 7 used for their shit over there. But
not my
But people are getting
but
hurt.
there's
though.
still but they only show the victims. They don't show where. They just go like, oh, this is what happened.
Well, there's some grainy footage too. There's one where they're really tall, or the guys, but they're like really bright light, kind of like the people kind of emit light. But yeah, they're kind of hard to tell what it is and what's going on in them, because it's like panic video.
It's probably just Santa Claus, everybody. Ring ding ding a ling a ding 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 a ding a doo.
Well, we got a couple
Santa
episodes
Claus.
coming out, and hopefully it comes out just before Christmas. We're gonna take a little, obviously, break for that. But we're gonna try to get together
Christmas
for
break.
New Year's, or we'll see what goes on. Not New Year's, but maybe say like a Happy New Year episode or some shit like that. We'll see. I don't know. Got ideas here.
Year's is canceled.
No, New Year's. We're pushing back 2024 as far back as
I'm
possible.
rolling it back. David knows. Wait, that's not David.
Oh
that-
no, it's a Pelacaras.
No,
It's a
That's-
Pelacaras.
Hey guys,
hey, and Bill
Hey.
kisses.
Well, it looks like David's
were you
off
by the
already.
moon? Were you by the moon right now?
Well,
Oh,
I'm at the moon right now, and I can tell you.
That's a great idea.
Do you think they would still celebrate Christmas in space?
Old customs die hard.
Or it would be like that mother, like Raised by Wolves. You'll worship Saul.
oh yeah,
And that's it.
I don't think I finished that. Well, maybe I did. They just had 2 seasons.
I think there's 3. I watched them all, and then they never came back. We're
We're by the moon right now. We're by the moon
John's
right
doing
now.
the space
John, get in
walk.
here. John, get in here. John, get in here.
We're losing him.
Too bad you can't move its arms. That'd be hilarious. It looks like I'm naked under there.
It looks funny how you go back though. And it makes it smaller.
From the side of the moon crater,
How's it look, John?
there is no one here.
Set James straight.
The moon landing was fake. The
Oh,
moon
man.
landing was fake.
It's
I
full
don't
of
know,
aliens, though.
I watched that program a long time ago as a kid, and they first presented that theory to me, at least, and seemed like it was on like basic television, like right after a big sports game, like everybody watched it.
Oh, well, there was a show called Sightings that would come on Sundays.
You talk on like this, and he made a real convincing argument. Where then ultimately, I remember going the next day and telling all my friends, "Yeah, the crosshairs. That's what it is." They covered the crosshairs in one of the pictures, where one of the astronauts is like in front of the crosshair, and then they use that as a reason for the theory. And then someone explained that it's all digitized images and the crosshairs are just imposed on there. And that was the beginning of any argument you make for saying that we didn't land on the moon is going to eventually fall apart, because believe it or not, they landed on the moon. They did. And
you used to not believe that, though, James. I remember a younger James.
Right. I know.
And to be honest, I'm kind of starting to believe that we haven't now.
I started to watch all the counter arguments, and everything was like, dang, actually, those all make sense.
We're on a teeter-totter right now, because I'm like starting to think like, hey, like I don't.
Why hasn't any country that's landed a rover on the moon?
Whalers on the moon.
Yeah, it's like saying like the space station is not up there, and you know what I mean. The International Space Station.
Right. There's all these people.
Space is just another water.
Like, what is an astronaut? Like, I mean, it just goes back to that.
What is a cosmonaut?
Now, if you're going to say every astronaut and every cosmonaut and anybody who's going up into space is an agent that is lying to you and not really going there, they're just going deep into a bunker and calling it space. Yeah, that's up to you to say that. It's really up to you to say that, but I really think that you're going to want to dig deep into all the information we have, and you're going to be kind of profoundly...
I guess we won't know until we go there. And on that note, all right, everybody. I guess we'll call it a night on that. But you know what we should do is I got a little idea out of this little talk we had right now is we should get like a like a picture and post it up, and then all of us sit there and try to make as many conspiracy theories out of that one picture. You know?
Oh, sure, yeah.
It'd be like fun. Like, what does that fucking sign mean right there? But why does that stop sign have that sticker? And that guy just happens to put his arm up like that. That's a little strange, you know, like go through like the whole like
they came.
Yeah, it'd be kind of fun just to like see like how ridiculous we can get like a fucking conspiracy out of like anything. But yeah,
that'd be cool.
Just fun stuff. All right, folks, so we'll get these episodes out pretty soon, and
make sure to like and subscribe.
Yeah, do all that good stuff.
Kisses.
Comment below.
Bye.